All right, everyone, let's talk Chicago. So, if you can't see, my printer is out of ink, so I apologize for the color not being super great, but I wanted to make sure I got this out for you guys. I'm actually going to do this all in a one take just because of timing, so I'm going to go through, and this is just a first impression. So this weekend we're actually going to be up playing against New York Extreme up in the Northeast, so that's going to be a good time playing against them. So we'll be able to get a better look, and of course I'll have my camera with me. But I wanted to go through some of the stuff that I noticed with the layout itself. So let's go through the back line. We'll go to the tapes and then go to the center and then talk about some possible bounce shots and then kind of my first impressions of the layout. So from the back center, I do think it's going to be good to delay here. I don't think that this is going to be a very useful spot to stay. I think if you are shooting snake side, you're able to shoot into this gap a little bit, but I have a feeling that if they stay low enough, they'll be able to come around this corner and be able to survive. Also, all it takes is for them to just jump across and they're going to be safe. So it's kind of a useless spot to shoot that gap. At least this way you can stop them on the wrap and fighting out of a wing. The downside is that you're going to have to be shooting all of this. So there's the corner, and then you're going to have the top of the snake as well. So in a pinch, if you're here and for some reason like they just dive snake off break and go straight here, which I guess we'll see if it's possible. But you know, the aggressive players are going to want to get into there and wrap and start shooting. So this guy at least could put some pressure in that way, but I think there's a couple other bunkers that can do that as well. Shooting deeper, you do have a quick shot here. This is only going to be to catch someone that's maybe trying to float out, and there is going to be a drop shot over the top of these bricks. I think shooting up over the top, there's going to be a blind shot going in this way. Now, the way that they might counter that is if they come in and dive in like that. So that's going to be something that would be an issue, because if they get underneath your lane, you're not even going to be able to see if they went into this bunker or went into the snake. So just something to think about. But first impressions, I don't think I would stay here. I think this would be something that like Kyle and I had done before, actually, where we would go back to back and then break out from there. I don't think this is going to be a bunker that I'm going to want to stay at. On the Dorito side, you have that same quick pull-up shot, and then shooting this outside, but again, it's going to be blind. So, I mean, shooting up over the top of this into a blind spot, all it takes is this guy to stop, go into the front, and then dive across and go underneath your lane. You're not even going to be able to see that move. So it's not going to be super important to you know, stay on that gap or whatever. Now, if the guy stops in, actually no, that wouldn't even be something that would be smart, so I'm not even going to say it. And then of course, if somehow they got all the way up into the 50 Dorito, this wing, you can shoot that outside. But again, it's kind of like the snake, where there's better spots that you can do that from. Let's go over here to this can. So the heads up shot, I think this one's going to be better to shoot into the snake. You're going to make it a lot more difficult for them to be able to get past here, and you're shooting a little bit more into here, whereas this home, it's more of that cross shot. So you're shooting more heads up. And then also you still have that heads up shot. So if they haven't gone wider, this is a spot, I mean, it's going to be better to get to this brick to do this, but shooting here is going to stop that guy from making that move. I also think there might be a bounce here now that I look at it, so we'll get back to that in a little bit. Shooting the cross, if there is someone in this wing, you can shoot inside, and then you really have to thread the needle with this one. But shooting across into here, into this gap, I don't know how effective that's going to be. I wouldn't come here and just be dumping paint, but this could be something that if you guys have a call that this guy's going to move to here or here, this guy can throw some paint over there real quick. Like we have certain calls for certain spots. That's probably going to be one of them. But I'm not going to tell you guys what, because someone might be watching. Coming over to this cake. It is a tall cake, so this is going to be pretty playable back here. If they're in the 50 snake, they have to be in this spot for you to shoot them. If they move over a little bit, they're safe. So this shot really isn't that great. Threading the needle through here isn't going to be super great, but the heads up is going to be a little bit better. At least you're able to see your guy trying to move, or I'm sorry, your mirror. And then also this Dorito 1, you can shoot into there and drop it in. I think if they stay low, they might still be able to crawl up, but all it takes is that one ball to kind of drop a little bit and you'll be able to drop it into there. So I think that might be a possibility. The better spot to be, though, is this cake. I think this cake is going to be used pretty regularly if they haven't gone wide. Being able to come out here and shoot, you can shoot the guy wrapping and you can shoot the tape to protect your snake player, and you're shooting more in to the snake. I'm sorry, into the Dorito. So that's going to be a little bit better. You have the inside shot, maybe catch someone trying to move on the outside, because this inside is so open through here. It's going to be a little bit riskier to come through here. Not that I wouldn't try it, but this outside move is probably going to be the one that someone would try. So you might be able to catch someone there. But I think someone coming here to back up their Dorito player is going to be the wise choice. Okay, so I'll throw this one off to the side, and let's talk about the snake. So getting into here, you can shoot this gap, but this isn't like I would come here and shoot that. There's no way I would do that. That'd be a waste of a gun. Coming over to the inside, you do have some little heads up shots, but I mean, it's not really that great. It's just something that if someone's there, you can throw some paint. You can shoot over the top into this guy trying to wrap here, but they have so much that they can play with. So that's what's going to be the issue when you're trying to battle with that person. And then shooting the heads up, you can shoot the outside, but this is a small cake. I'm not sure how many people are actually going to be diving into that. Now, granted, they might still dive out and then use this as a way to get up. That might be possible. If they were trying that, this would actually be good, because it's going to be really hard to fight out of there to get into the snake. It's going to be easier to get to the god, but that insert snake god bunker is you still have this gap you have to get through. So if I'm sitting there just pounding paint on both sides, I'm making it really difficult for that guy to survive. Actually getting into the snake, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of shots until you get over into the 50 or into their side. So from here, you can shoot into this tower. And that's really it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff being blocked on here. Also, this is kind of a no man's land. I don't know that a lot of people are going to be stopping here. My feeling is that they're going to dive right into this snake too, and then try to crawl around. Or if they do go here, maybe they'll just try to go straight down. But there's going to be these drop shots on the inside, so I guess we'll see. But inside, I guess you could do a little bit of a wrap and shoot into some of these spots, but I don't know how much people are going to stay here. I feel like it's going to be just get down and get into here as fast as you can, because when you get into this 50, once you can wrap, you can shoot into the god, into shooting into the home. You actually can wrap and shoot, if you use this little slope here, shooting into that can. The inside shots are going to be decent, so having someone watching over you is what's going to be important. The reason I did this one black line here is just because anyone can shoot down this tape. So it could be a benefit. Again, this is first impression, so we'll see how the layout actually plays. Having someone dive into here and just start pounding the tape. The issue is that if they crawl in and you don't see that and they come around, they can bunker your guy and you wouldn't be able to see it. So maybe it'd be better to be here. But I don't know. Actually, looking at it now, that probably wouldn't be the best. But at least this way I could look down my guy's tape if we had them trapped somewhere and they hadn't gotten into the snake yet. But once you get into their snake, that's when you can start using the little top nipple section or the little nub section of the little W, and be able to shoot over into a lot more people. Again, you're fighting out of a smaller spot, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. But of course, you get into their side, and that's when you can start shooting a little bit more cross field. Not a whole lot, but I feel like this field, and one of the guys in our chat with the ML Kings had talked about it, that it seems like it's almost going to be like a heads up here and a heads up here. I don't know how many cross shots there are really going to be. Not that they're not there. There's probably going to be some blind shots coming across that we'll find, but I think it might be just like you have your side fighting the D side and snake side fighting the snake side. But again, we'll see once we get deeper into there. You can see that my printer was starting to really struggle here. So the Dorito 1 really doesn't have a whole lot. Shooting into the bricks, yes, but that guy I think needs to be pounding the paint through here to make it where you wouldn't be able to move. You coming out and diving straight across, by the time he pulls his trigger, you're going to be in this Dorito too. So once you're here, you can play the wrap and start shooting a little bit more, diving out into this other little Dorito. Again, there's some more inside shots, wrapping. You have the inside shot into the tower, into this other tower. I think you might actually... yeah, actually you could shoot into the can as well. I just noticed that now. In this Dorito, what's good is you could actually, like, if you dove out to here, you could crawl up, so long as someone didn't see you do that, and you might be able to catch someone off guard. So you have a couple little options. Of course, the better shots are going to be coming from the 50. But I think the issue on the Dorito side is going to be this tall cake shooting down into here. That's going to be the guy that'll stop you. Once you dive out, if you run up, then you have to worry about these inside shots. We'll talk about the center a little bit more. But just the way that it's set up, I mean, you can shoot down the tape if you're in the Dorito, but I feel like this is going to be the better spot to get to wrap, because you can shoot into that player more, rather than it just being shooting and then if they put you in, like, that's it. So yeah, so that's the Dorito side. Okay, going up into the center, both of the towers, I mean, this one's a little bit better. You have some more cross shots. So if you were running and gunning up, you can shoot into here on the way up, even into the center. If someone tried to, like, run straight up the center, which, seeing that, I kind of want to try that. So we'll see about that. But having the inside shot, and then this shot here as well, shooting into these gaps. I think if you guys don't have a code for shooting into certain gaps, you should come up with one now, so that way everyone knows. Because once someone gets put in and you can call that, someone can throw paint that way and catch that guy on the move. Into the actual snake shot is going to be okay through here. I think you really need to pound the paint through there to stop that guy. But because it's threading the needle shot, it's not going to take much for them to have to shoot in to put you in and then dive across, because these pins are going to be blocking some of those shots. What you can do is at least stand up a little bit more and shoot down onto this snake guy. So putting paint through here, it's going to be difficult for them to, they'd have to come up over the top or battle you out the side. I don't know that there is an inside shot. Yeah, so they don't have that inside shot because of the pin. So they would have to, like, stand up in the middle or lean out. So not that it's impossible, but actually, yeah, that's the shot I need to look at, is this one. So the outside, I'm sorry, the inside of the snake, I guess, does have a little bit of a shot, but it's not going to be difficult just for you to shoot and then roll a little bit, because you know he wants to get here. The guy isn't going to dive here and then dive across, because if your paint is shooting up over the top of the beam, where's he going to go? It's just going to clip him, and then you can catch that guy on the wrap. This tower, you do have some shots into the snake, not a whole lot, but at least it's something. And then over here, this might actually be a little bit better to get to just be pounding into here, to make it where it's going to be really difficult for them to make those moves. And then even if they did, and you can roll off a little bit and shoot into this gap, you're stopping them from getting into the wing that is going to be, I think, more deadly than some of these other spots. Not that they can't shoot people back here, but getting into this 50 is, I think, going to be good. On this brick, so shooting, you can actually shoot both sides, so that is going to be a benefit. So even if you saw the guy had crawled up, and you run up to here and then wait for him to come on the inside, or to think that they have the move and then you can just catch them on the outside, that could be an option. This is that heads up shot I was talking about, where you can shoot into this gap, so coming here and then just pounding paint. If they haven't gone into this God insert, or haven't gotten into the snake, then shooting this is going to be something that would be beneficial to the team, because it's going to be really difficult for this guy to shoot you, especially if you're just rolled off. There might be a little bit of a bounce off this pin, but it's a little bit further of a bounce, so I think it's going to be difficult for that shot to come in. Once you get to the inside, you have that inside shot there, and over here. This one is another one that you could be pounding through. The issue is when you're so far away, where this guy is trying to make the move. It's not going to take a whole lot to put you in, but if you're throwing paint that way, you can make their life miserable, where your guys can get up into this spot and then start rapping on that guy. Maybe even let him go, and then this guy just shoots him on the move. And then if they did make it, you can shoot into this gap as well. The wing on the Dorito side, so this one I think is going to be pretty good as well. So it's kind of like this one, and I'm sorry, these two and these two, they have some of the same shots where you could maybe move into one of them to shoot the same shot, and if they didn't see you move, then that might be something that you can catch someone with. This is that same one where maybe if you don't have someone shooting into that gap, you can have someone come here and shoot across and catch this guy. It's going to be really difficult for them to be able to catch you or put you in to go, just because you have a lot more freedom of being able to move back and forth and shooting into this gap to make it where they can't go into the snake. My thinking is guys are probably going to be making snake off break or getting into this spot, but if they haven't yet, I mean, getting up into here is going to be something that you can really slow them down. And then of course shooting into those gaps again. So I know I'm going kind of quickly, but just trying to see, yeah, just trying to try to get this out for you guys. So from here, from this snake 2, I think that you might be able to shoot off this pin if you play the wrap and bounce it into the brick if there is someone that's there. Now, again, you have these shots that drop into that there, so you have to be careful with that. But if you have nothing else to do, you might even be able to do it on the inside. You're just exposing yourself on the inside, just less bunker. But you might be able to shoot it on the inside as well, bounce it off the pin into that brick. From this brick, I think there might be 2 shots. This is the other one I talked about, where you bounce it off this this Aztec, and maybe it'll bounce into the can. I don't know how well that's going to work, but it's a possibility. And then this one is just going to make this snake miserable. Shooting off here and bouncing it in, making it where they can't even wrap. I think that this one should be pretty good to shoot off into there and skip it into that area or into the area that they want to try to dive across. Just something else you can throw in every so often, shoot the gap and then shoot the bunker, shoot the gap, shoot the bunker, and doing that stuff. Now this is kind of literally a long shot, but also kind of a shot in the dark to see if it's going to work. Shooting right down into this Dorito corner, off that cake into this one. I think it's probably going to bounce too far back, but just looking at the geometry of it, it looks like it might work. The other one that I wanted to mention was a possibility of from the can, shooting it off this pin here is inset a little bit. If you see, it's on the opposite side of the line. This one is on the, like, literally the middle of the line. This one is inset a little bit. I think you might be able to bounce it off there, maybe make this guy flinch a little bit, but I'm not sure. This pin, I don't think there's going to be any bounces off of that are going to do anything. I feel like just the positioning of it's going to bounce into the wing rather than going where the player is going to be. So overall, looking at this layout, I don't know. I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of nervous that it's going to be a slow layout. Just because there are some places that you can go and you're just going to be dumping paint, which is not fun. Like, that's not fun paintball. Like, if that's the job I need to go and do, absolutely I'm going to go do it. But it just seems like it's just going to be a lockdown. Now, the really aggressive players that can get really far up might be able to make some quick points. So we'll see this weekend. So make sure that you guys are subscribed, so that way, and click the bell button too, so that way you can see the footage right away. I'll put up some of the raw footage like usual, and then go through my self-playing critique. We're probably going to have a lot of points against NYX, so that's going to be a good time with those guys. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Thank you for watching, and as always, remember, watch, learn, win. Thanks.